Richness in Everything, written and published by Rich Audiobooks. From our earliest memories, most of us inherited a very specific notion of wealth, one that revolves around money, possessions, and financial status. This narrow definition has shaped our aspirations, driven our decisions, and often left us feeling perpetually insufficient. Yet true wealth exists in dimensions far beyond the monetary realm, and recognizing this truth marks the beginning of a profound transformation in how we experience life itself. Consider for a moment what makes you feel truly rich. Perhaps it's watching a sunrise paint the sky in brilliant colors, sharing a laugh with someone you love, or savoring the perfect cup of coffee in peaceful solitude. These moments of pure abundance cost nothing, yet they fill us with a sense of wealth that no amount of money could replicate. This is not to diminish the importance of financial security. Rather, it's about expanding our understanding of what constitutes a rich life. The wealth mindset begins with a fundamental shift in perception. Instead of seeing life through the lens of what's missing or what we need to acquire, we learn to recognize the abundance that already surrounds us. This shift isn't always easy. Our brains are wired to focus on scarcity, a survival mechanism from our ancient past. But just as we can rewire our neural pathways through consistent practice, we can train ourselves to notice and appreciate the countless forms of wealth present in our daily experiences. Consider Maria, a retired schoolteacher who lives in a modest apartment but radiates an unmistakable sense of abundance. Her secret? She has mastered the art of finding richness in everything, from the way she arranges wildflowers in her window to how she treats every visitor as an honored guest. Her wealth isn't stored in a bank account, it's woven into the fabric of how she lives each day. Her story reminds us that true wealth is not something we chase, but something we cultivate through our perspective and choices. Lesson 1. Redefining Wealth. It starts with how you see life. This redefinition of wealth extends to how we measure success and progress in our lives. Instead of focusing solely on financial metrics, we begin to value our growth in creativity, wisdom, relationships, and personal peace. We start to recognize that every experience, even challenging ones, can contribute to our wealth when viewed through the lens of learning and opportunity. This broader perspective doesn't just make us feel better, it actually expands our capacity to create and receive abundance in all its forms. The journey to redefining wealth requires us to examine and often challenge our inherited beliefs about what makes life rich. These beliefs might come from our family background, cultural messages, or personal experiences with money and success. By bringing awareness to these underlying assumptions, we can consciously choose which ones serve our highest good and which ones we need to release. This process of examination and choice becomes a powerful act of reclaiming our authority over how we define and experience wealth. As we begin to see life through this expanded lens of wealth, we naturally align ourselves with opportunities for greater abundance. We become more attuned to the richness available in simple moments, more appreciative of our existing resources, and more creative in how we use them. This shift in perspective doesn't just change how we feel about our current circumstances, it transforms how we interact with the world and what we attract into our lives. The essence of redefining wealth lies in understanding that abundance is not a destination, but a way of seeing and being. It's about recognizing that every moment offers an opportunity to experience richness, whether through appreciation, connection, creativity, or growth. When we embrace this truth, we free ourselves from the limiting belief that wealth is something we must wait to experience until certain external conditions are met. Instead, we discover that the gateway to true abundance has been within us all along, waiting only for us to change how we see. Lesson 2. Rich Thoughts, Rich Words, Rich World. Our minds are like fertile gardens, where every thought we plant grows into the reality we experience. The words we choose, both in our internal dialogue and external communication, act as seeds that determine the quality and abundance of what blooms in our lives. This profound connection between our thoughts, words, and our experienced reality forms the foundation of true wealth consciousness. Consider how you talk to yourself about money, success, and opportunities. Do you often catch yourself saying, "I can't afford that," or "That's not for people like me"? These seemingly innocent phrases are actually powerful manifestations of lack consciousness that create invisible barriers between you and abundance. When we shift our internal dialogue to one of possibility and abundance, we begin to notice opportunities we previously overlooked. The language of abundance operates on a different frequency than the language of scarcity. Instead of, I can't afford that, wealthy thinking asks, how can I create the resources for this? Rather than, I'm not qualified, abundance consciousness wonders, what skills can I develop to become the right person for this opportunity? This subtle but powerful shift in mental pathways that lead to creative solutions and unexpected possibilities. Your vocabulary shapes your perception, and your perception creates your reality. When you describe your life using rich, vibrant, and abundant language, you train your brain to seek out and recognize the wealth that already exists around you. Even simple switches like replacing I have to with I get to can transform mundane tasks into opportunities for gratitude and growth. The world mirrors back to us the energy we project through our thoughts and words. When we consistently think and speak in terms of abundance, we naturally align ourselves with people, opportunities, and circumstances that match this frequency. It's not merely positive thinking, it's about creating a mental environment where wealth in all its forms can naturally flourish. This principle extends beyond personal finance into every area of life. Speaking about your relationships with warmth and appreciation helps them grow richer. Describing your work with enthusiasm and purpose attracts more meaningful opportunities. Expressing gratitude for your health supports physical vitality. Each word you choose acts as a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your life experience. Developing rich thought patterns requires conscious practice and patience. Begin by observing your current mental habits without judgment. Notice the words you use most frequently and their underlying assumptions about abundance or scarcity. Then, deliberately introduce new thought patterns that align with wealth consciousness. When you catch yourself in a scarcity thought, gently redirect to an abundance perspective. Your mind is running wealth-creating or wealth-destroying programs every moment of every day. By taking control of these programs through conscious thought and word choice, you begin to rewire your brain's default settings. This isn't about denying reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's about approaching challenges from a perspective of resourcefulness and possibility, rather than limitation and lack. The world becomes exponentially richer when viewed through the lens of abundant thinking. Colors appear more vivid, opportunities more numerous, and possibilities more accessible. This isn't magic, it's the natural result of training your mind to tune into the frequency of wealth that exists all around us. Your thoughts and words are the tuning dials that allow you to access this frequency at will. Lesson 3. Gratitude, the currency of true abundance. When we speak of wealth, we often fixate on accumulation, what we can get, earn, or acquire. Yet the paradox of true abundance reveals itself through an entirely different mechanism: gratitude. This fundamental force acts as a magnetic field, attracting more of what we appreciate while simultaneously allowing us to experience the richness already present in our lives. The human brain is remarkably plastic, constantly forming new neural pathways based on our repeated thoughts and experiences. When we practice gratitude, we literally rewire our minds to notice abundance rather than scarcity. Think of it as training your internal wealth detector. The more you acknowledge the good in your life, the more attuned you become to recognizing opportunities, blessings, and reasons for celebration that might have previously gone unnoticed. Consider how a simple shift in perspective can transform an ordinary moment into one of extraordinary richness. That morning cup of coffee becomes not just a beverage, but a symphony of experiences. The aromatic beans sourced from distant mountains, the warmth of the mug in your hands, the quiet moments of contemplation it provides. This level of appreciation doesn't just make the experience more enjoyable. It fundamentally alters your relationship with the present moment, infusing it with a sense of wealth that has nothing to do with monetary value. The practice of gratitude works as a powerful antidote to the scarcity mindset that often plagues even the financially wealthy. When we're constantly focused on what's missing or what we still need to acquire, we create an internal environment of lack that no amount of external abundance can fill. Gratitude reverses this pattern by anchoring us in the reality of what we already possess, not just material goods, but relationships, experiences, capabilities, and opportunities. This transformation begins with intentional recognition of life's gifts, both large and small. The ability to breathe deeply, to move your body, to think and create. These are forms of wealth often overlooked in the chase for more tangible assets. The safety of a home, the loyalty of a friend, the beauty of a sunset. Each represents a form of richness that appreciates in value the more we acknowledge. The practice of gratitude also creates a powerful ripple effect in our relationships and communities. When we genuinely appreciate others, we strengthen bonds that contribute to our social wealth. This appreciation naturally leads to generosity, not from a place of obligation, but from the overflow of recognizing how much we've been given. This circular flow of gratitude and generosity creates an ever-expanding cycle of abundance that enriches everyone involved. Perhaps most importantly, gratitude serves as an anchor during challenging times, reminding us that wealth exists in many forms beyond the financial. When markets fluctuate or material circumstances change, the ability to maintain a perspective of abundance through gratitude becomes an invaluable asset. This isn't about denying difficulties or practicing toxic positivity. Rather, it's about maintaining a balanced awareness that acknowledges both challenges and blessings. The cultivation of gratitude requires daily practice, much like building any other form of wealth. Each moment of appreciation deposits currency into your abundance account, creating a reservoir of richness that you can draw upon at any time. This practice might begin with noting 3 specific things you're grateful for each morning, but it eventually evolves into a constant awareness of the wealth that surrounds you in every moment. Through this lens, gratitude becomes more than just a pleasant emotion or a social nicety. It transforms into a powerful tool for experiencing and creating wealth in all its forms. By making gratitude your default setting, you establish a foundation for abundance that transcends traditional measures of wealth, creating a rich and fulfilling life regardless of external circumstances. Lesson 4. Elevate your surroundings, elevate your life. Your environment shapes your reality in profound ways, often beyond conscious awareness. Every space you inhabit carries an energy that either lifts you toward abundance or pulls you toward scarcity. This truth extends far beyond the obvious markers of wealth. It's not about expensive furniture or designer labels, but rather about creating surroundings that speak to your soul's understanding of richness. Consider how you feel when you walk into a room filled with natural light, clean surfaces, and thoughtfully arranged objects, versus one that's cluttered, dim, and chaotic. The first environment immediately expands your sense of possibility and well-being, while the second subtly constricts your energy and outlook. This visceral response to our surroundings isn't superficial. It's deeply wired into our nervous system and affects everything from our creativity to our decision-making capacity. Creating an elevated environment doesn't require a substantial financial investment. It begins with intention and awareness. Start by observing how different spaces make you feel. Notice which elements bring you a sense of expansion and which create contraction. This mindful attention to your surroundings becomes the foundation for transforming your space into a wealth-attracting sanctuary. The practice of curating beauty in your environment is both an art and a spiritual discipline. It might mean arranging fresh flowers in a simple vase, positioning your desk to capture morning light, or creating a small meditation corner with objects that hold personal significance. These conscious choices signal to your subconscious mind that you value beauty, order, and abundance, and what you value tends to multiply in your life. Decluttering serves as a powerful wealth practice because it creates space for new abundance to enter. When your surroundings are overcrowded with items that no longer serve or delight you, you're essentially telling the universe you have no room for more goodness. By releasing what's stagnant or excessive, you create energetic and physical space for fresh opportunities and experiences to flow into your life. Color plays a vital role in environmental elevation. Rich, deep hues can ground and center you, while lighter tones can lift and expand your energy. Consider painting one wall in a color that makes you feel abundant, or introducing textiles in shades that resonate with your personal sense of luxury. These small changes can dramatically shift the feeling of a space without requiring significant investment. The concept of luxury needs redefining in this context. True luxury isn't about expensive brands or materials. It's about the quality of your experience. A carefully prepared cup of tea in a beautiful ceramic mug can be more luxurious than a hastily consumed expensive coffee. A well-made bed with crisp, clean sheets can feel more opulent than designer bedding in disarray. It's the intention and attention you bring to these details that creates the experience of wealth. Sound, scent, and texture also contribute to an elevated environment. Consider the acoustic quality of your space, perhaps adding soft surfaces to absorb harsh noise, or introducing gentle background music that soothes and inspires. Natural essential oils can transform the atmosphere of a room, while varying textures, smooth, rough, soft, sleek, create a rich sensory experience that enhances your daily life. Your surroundings should tell the story of who you are becoming, not just who you've been. As you evolve in your understanding of wealth, let your environment evolve with you. Remove objects that represent old limitations or past scarcity thinking. Replace them with items that symbolize growth, abundance, and possibility, even if those items are as simple as a smooth stone from a meaningful walk or a photograph of a place that inspires you. Lesson 5. Relationships are your richest investments. The wealthiest people often attribute their success not to their financial portfolios, but to the quality of their relationships. This profound truth extends far beyond business connections or networking opportunities. It speaks to the fundamental nature of human wealth. When we examine what truly makes life rich, meaningful relationships consistently emerge as the most valuable currency we possess. Consider for a moment your most treasured memories. They likely involve shared experiences with people who matter to you, intimate conversations over coffee, celebrations with family, or quiet moments of understanding with a close friend. These connections form the fabric of a genuinely wealthy life, creating a tapestry of experiences that no amount of money could replicate. Each meaningful relationship in your life represents an investment that continuously appreciates, paying dividends in the form of emotional support, shared wisdom, and mutual growth. The art of cultivating rich relationships begins with intentionality. Just as a wise investor carefully selects their financial investments, we must be discerning about where we direct our relational energy. This means moving beyond surface-level connections and investing deeply in relationships that align with our values and contribute positively to our lives. Quality trumps quantity. A handful of profound connections will enrich your life far more than hundreds of superficial acquaintances. Building these wealth-generating relationships requires regular deposits of time, attention, and genuine care. Small gestures, remembering important details about someone's life, showing up during difficult times, celebrating their successes as if they were your own, compound over time to create unshakable bonds. These investments might not show immediate returns, but their long-term value is immeasurable. A single conversation with a trusted mentor can alter the course of your life. A deep friendship can provide the emotional security needed to take risks and pursue dreams. However, just as some financial investments can drain our resources, certain relationships can deplete our emotional wealth. Learning to recognize and address toxic relationships is crucial for maintaining your overall abundance. These relationships often manifest as constant negativity, emotional manipulation, or one-sided taking without giving. Having the courage to establish boundaries, or, when necessary, end these depleting connections, creates space for more enriching relationships to flourish. Creating a personal wealth network involves cultivating relationships across different areas of life. This includes mentors who challenge your growth, peers who share your journey, friends who bring joy and levity, and those you can mentor in turn. Each type of relationship contributes uniquely to your life's richness, creating a diverse portfolio of connections that support and enhance different aspects of your experience. The language and habits we bring to our relationships directly impact their value. Practice the art of deep listening, not just hearing words, but truly understanding the emotions and needs beneath them. Share vulnerably, allowing others to know your authentic self. Express appreciation, specifically and frequently, acknowledging how others enrich your life. These practices create an upward spiral of connection, where each interaction builds trust and deepens the relationship's worth. Investment in relationships also means being willing to weather market fluctuations. All relationships face challenges, but viewing these difficulties as opportunities for growth rather than reasons to withdraw can lead to even stronger connections. Just as the most valuable financial assets often require holding through volatile periods, our most precious relationships may require patience, understanding, and the willingness to work through difficult times. Digital connections and social media, while valuable tools for maintaining contact, should never replace the irreplaceable wealth of face-to-face interaction. Make time for regular in-person connections, shared meals, walks in nature, or simply sitting together in comfortable silence. These moments of genuine human connection generate a form of wealth that no digital alternative can match. Lesson 6. Joy is a wealth frequency. Tune into it daily. Joy isn't just an emotion, it's a powerful frequency that attracts abundance in all its forms. When we exist in a state of genuine joy, we naturally align with the vibration of wealth, opening ourselves to receive life's richest experiences. This alignment goes far beyond the temporary happiness of acquiring material possessions. It's about tapping into an inexhaustible wellspring of inner abundance that colors everything we do. Think of joy as your personal wealth radar, constantly scanning for experiences that enrich your life. When you're tuned to this frequency, you naturally gravitate toward opportunities, connections, and circumstances that multiply your sense of abundance. Your perception sharpens, allowing you to notice the countless moments of beauty and possibility that others might miss. This heightened awareness becomes a self-perpetuating cycle, where each joyful moment attracts more of the same. Many people resist joy because they've been conditioned to believe that serious matters, especially those involving wealth and success, require a stern, disciplined approach. This couldn't be further from the truth. The most successful and fulfilled people understand that joy is not frivolous, it's fundamental. They've learned to incorporate playfulness into their work, relationships, and daily routines, knowing that this lightness of being actually enhances their effectiveness and attractiveness to opportunities. The key to maintaining this joyful frequency lies in identifying your personal joy activators. These are the unique experiences, activities, or states of being that reliably lift your spirits and connect you to your sense of abundance. For some, it might be early morning walks in nature. For others, it could be creating art, playing with children, or engaging in meaningful conversations. The specific activity matters less than its ability to consistently generate genuine feelings of delight and expansion in your life. Creating daily joy rituals ensures that you maintain this wealthy vibration regardless of external circumstances. These don't need to be elaborate practices. Even 5 minutes of intentional joy-seeking can shift your entire day's trajectory. Perhaps it's savoring your morning coffee in complete presence, dancing to your favorite song before work, or taking a moment to watch the sunset. The regularity of these practices matters more than their duration or complexity. Rest in the joy often manifests as perpetual busyness, or the belief that we must earn our pleasure through suffering or hard work first. This mindset creates a poverty of experience, blocking the very abundance we seek to create. True wealth consciousness embraces joy as a birthright, not a reward. When we give ourselves permission to experience pleasure freely, we break down the artificial barriers between work and play, duty and delight. The relationship between joy and productivity deserves special attention. While our culture often glorifies hustle and grind, research consistently shows that joy-filled people are actually more creative, efficient, and resilient. They solve problems more effectively, build stronger relationships, and maintain better health, all factors that contribute to genuine wealth. By prioritizing joy, you're not just making life more pleasant, you're making a strategic investment in your overall prosperity. This wealth frequency of joy has a magnetic effect on others as well. People naturally gravitate toward those who emanate genuine happiness and enthusiasm for life. This attraction creates opportunities for collaboration, support, and connection that might otherwise remain hidden. Your joy becomes a beacon, drawing in experiences and relationships that further enrich your world. Tuning into joy is a practice, not a destination. Some days it might flow effortlessly, others might require more conscious effort. The key is maintaining your commitment to this frequency, regardless of external conditions. By consistently choosing joy, you're not just experiencing momentary pleasure, you're programming your entire being to operate at a higher level of abundance consciousness. Lesson 7. Make time your most valuable asset. Time is the great equalizer. Every person receives exactly 24 hours each day, regardless of their financial status, social position, or geographical location. Yet some people seem to live expansively within these hours, while others feel constantly compressed by them. The difference lies not in how much time we have, but in how we perceive, value, and interact with this precious resource. Our modern culture has created a peculiar paradox. We've developed countless time-saving technologies, yet we feel more time-starved than ever. We rush through our days, multitasking our way through an endless stream of commitments, convinced that being busy equals being important or successful. This mindset creates what we can call time poverty estate, where regardless of our material wealth, we feel chronically short of time, leading to stress, anxiety, and a diminished experience of life. The wealthy relationship with time begins with a fundamental shift in perspective. Instead of viewing time as something to battle against or compress, we can choose to see it as an abundant resource that flows naturally. This shift requires us to release the grip of urgent reactivity and embrace intentional living. When we stop treating time like an enemy to be conquered, we begin to experience what can be called time wealth, a state where time expands to accommodate what truly matters. Creating time wealth starts with auditing how we currently spend our hours. Many of us would be surprised to discover how much time we unconsciously waste on activities that neither bring us joy nor move us toward our goals. Social media scrolling, mindless television watching, and responding to non-urgent interruptions can consume hours of our day without providing any real value in return. By becoming aware of these time leaks, we can redirect our attention to activities that create genuine richness in our lives. The art of time expansion involves learning to fully inhabit each moment rather than always rushing to the next. When we're constantly thinking about what's coming next, we compress our experience of now, creating a sensation of time scarcity. By practicing presence, whether we're enjoying a meal, engaging in conversation, or working on a project, we actually expand our experience of time. This presence doesn't mean we move more slowly. Rather, we move more consciously, which paradoxically allows us to accomplish more while feeling less rushed. Another crucial aspect of time wealth is learning to say no to commitments that don't align with our values and priorities. Every yes to something that doesn't truly matter is a no to something that does. The wealthy approach to time involves being selective about our commitments and protective of our energy. This selectivity isn't selfish, it's strategic. By preserving our time and energy for what matters most, we create space for deeper engagement, creativity, and genuine connection. The concept of time wealth extends beyond personal productivity to encompass the quality of our experience. Rich time isn't just efficiently used time, it's time that feels satisfying, meaningful, and well-lived. This might mean spending an unplanned hour in conversation with a friend, taking a longer route home to enjoy the scenery, or allowing yourself to become completely absorbed in a hobby or creative pursuit. These moments of unhurried engagement create a sense of time abundance that no amount of efficient scheduling can provide. Developing a wealthy relationship with time also involves creating rhythms rather than just following rigid schedules. Natural rhythms, like the seasons, the lunar cycle, or our own biological patterns, provide a framework for flowing with time rather than fighting against it. By aligning our activities with these natural rhythms, we can work more effectively, rest more deeply, and experience greater harmony in our daily lives. This rhythmic approach to time creates a sense of spaciousness and ease that characterizes true time wealth. Lesson 8. Generosity unlocks overflow. The paradox of generosity lies in its ability to create more abundance the more freely we give. While our instincts might tell us to hold tight to what we have, true wealth emerges when we open our hands and hearts to share with others. This principle operates far beyond monetary donations. It encompasses giving our time, attention, knowledge, skills, and even our presence. When we give from a place of genuine care rather than obligation, we activate what ancient wisdom traditions call the law of circulation. Just as nature demonstrates through the water cycle, energy must flow to remain vital. Stagnant water becomes toxic, while flowing water stays pure and life-giving. Our resources work the same way. The more we allow them to flow through us, rather than merely to us, the more we experience abundance in all its forms. Consider how different your day feels when you spontaneously buy coffee for the person behind you in line, share your expertise with a colleague who's struggling, or simply give your full attention to someone who needs to be heard. These acts create ripples of abundance that extend far beyond the initial gesture. The recipient feels valued and supported, you experience the natural high that comes from making a positive impact, and the witness effect inspires others to pay it forward. The science behind generosity reveals that giving activates the pleasure centers in our brain, reducing stress hormones while increasing feel-good chemicals like oxytocin and dopamine. This creates what researchers call the helper's high, a genuine state of emotional wealth that no amount of accumulation can match. Regular acts of generosity actually rewire our neural pathways to make abundance our default perspective rather than scarcity. This abundance perspective transforms how we view our own resources. Instead of constantly calculating what we might lose by giving, we begin to recognize the endless opportunities to create value for others. A skilled gardener doesn't worry about running out of knowledge by teaching others to grow food. A musician's ability to play isn't diminished by performing for an audience. Our gifts multiply through sharing, creating a positive feedback loop of increasing abundance. The practice of generosity requires discernment. It's not about depleting ourselves or giving from a place of guilt or pressure. True generosity flows from our overflow, from a recognition that we have more than enough to share. This might mean starting small, perhaps sharing a book that changed your life, offering words of encouragement to someone facing challenges, or volunteering your skills for a cause you believe in. As you cultivate generosity as a daily practice, you'll notice subtle shifts in your relationship with abundance. Opportunities to give and receive begin appearing more frequently. Your network of meaningful connections expands. Resources seem to arrive just when you need them. This isn't magical thinking, it's the natural result of positioning yourself within the flow of abundance rather than trying to hoard or control it. The most powerful form of generosity often comes through sharing your authentic self with the world. When you freely offer your unique perspectives, experiences, and creativity, you contribute to a richer collective experience for everyone. This form of giving creates lasting impact while simultaneously developing your own gifts and talent. Generosity is a muscle that strengthens with use. Each act of giving builds your capacity for abundance, expanding your vision of what's possible not just for yourself, but for your entire community. As you embrace generosity as a core wealth practice, you'll discover that the overflow it creates enriches every aspect of your life in ways that mere accumulation never could. Lesson 9. Live beautifully. Every detail is an expression of wealth. Beauty isn't a luxury, it's a fundamental expression of abundance that surrounds us in both grand and subtle ways. When we choose to live beautifully, we align ourselves with the natural flow of wealth that permeates every aspect of existence. This alignment begins with recognizing that beauty isn't about perfection or expense, but rather about intention and awareness. The way you fold your clothes, arrange your morning coffee ritual, or tend to your personal space all represent opportunities to infuse beauty into the ordinary. These seemingly small acts compound into a lifestyle that radiates richness from within. Consider how you move through your day. Are your actions rushed and mechanical, or do you approach each task with grace and presence? The difference lies not in what you do, but in how you do it. Living beautifully means elevating the mundane into the meaningful. It's about choosing the slightly better option, not because it costs more, but because it brings more joy and satisfaction. Perhaps it's using real napkins instead of paper ones, taking an extra moment to plate your meal thoughtfully, or keeping fresh flowers in your space. These choices signal to your subconscious that you value quality and beauty in your life experience. The art of beautiful living extends beyond the visual realm into how we conduct ourselves in all situations. It's reflected in the tone of voice we use, the way we greet others, and how we handle challenges. When we approach difficulties with poise and grace, we transform potential sources of stress into opportunities for expressing inner wealth. This doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. Rather, it's about finding beauty even in the imperfect moment. Our digital presence also deserves this thoughtful attention to beauty. The emails we write, the messages we send, and the content we share online can all be crafted with care and aesthetic sensitivity. Taking time to communicate clearly and elegantly, choosing words that uplift and inspire, and creating digital spaces that reflect our values are modern expressions of beautiful living. The practice of living beautifully requires us to slow down and become more observant. Notice the play of light through your window, the texture of your morning teacup, the sound of rain on the roof. These moments of appreciation train our minds to recognize beauty everywhere, naturally expanding our experience of abundance. As we develop this awareness, we begin to curate our lives more intentionally, making choices that support our vision of beautiful living. This attention to beauty naturally extends to how we present ourselves to the world. It's not about expensive clothing or following trends, but about expressing our authentic selves with confidence and care. When we dress in a way that makes us feel beautiful, carry ourselves with dignity, and maintain our personal spaces with attention to detail, we become living embodiments of wealth consciousness. Beautiful living also encompasses how we treat our bodies and minds. Regular self-care rituals, mindful movement practices, and moments of quiet reflection aren't indulgences, they're essential expressions of self-respect and abundance. When we treat ourselves as worthy of beauty and care, we naturally attract more of these experiences into our lives. Creating beauty doesn't require a large budget or perfect circumstances. It's about making conscious choices within our current reality that elevate our daily experience. Sometimes it's as simple as rearranging what we already have, clearing away clutter to let spaces breathe, or taking an extra moment to add a personal touch to our work. These small acts of intentional beauty create a ripple effect, transforming not just our immediate environment, but our entire approach to life. Lesson 10. Abundance is a lifestyle, not a bank balance. Living abundantly transcends the mere accumulation of wealth. It's an art form that permeates every aspect of our existence. When we truly understand this principle, we realize that abundance manifests in how we carry ourselves through each day, how we interact with others, and how we approach even the smallest moments of our lives. Think of abundance as the air you breathe rather than a destination you're trying to reach. It's present in the way you pour your morning coffee, mindfully preparing it as if for an honored guest. It shows in how you greet the day, approaching each sunrise as an opportunity rather than an obligation. This lifestyle of abundance appears in the grace with which you handle challenges, viewing them as teachers rather than tormentors. The abundant lifestyle isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about choosing to see the richness in a child's laughter and the warmth of sunshine on your face, in the satisfaction of completing a task well. When you embrace abundance as a way of being, you naturally begin to carry yourself differently. Your posture becomes more open, your smile more genuine, your energy more magnetic. People are drawn to those who radiate abundance because it reminds them of their own potential for richness. Consider how you move through your space. An abundant lifestyle means treating your home like a sanctuary regardless of its size or cost. It means making your bed with intention, arranging flowers in a vase not because anyone will see them, but because beauty matters. It's about creating rituals that honor the preciousness of life, lighting a candle while you work, using your best dishes for ordinary meals, wearing clothes that make you feel confident and comfortable. Abundance as a lifestyle manifests in how you treat others. It's expressed through generosity of spirit, not just resources. It's about giving your full attention in conversations, remembering important details about others' lives, and celebrating their successes as if they were your own. When abundance is your lifestyle, you naturally become a source of inspiration and elevation for those around you. The abundant lifestyle also influences how you handle your resources. Rather than operating from a place of scarcity or fear, you make conscious choices about how to use what you have. You might choose quality over quantity, experiences over possessions, or investment in growth over immediate gratification. These choices aren't driven by external pressure, but by an internal understanding of what truly creates value in your life. Living abundantly means maintaining this perspective even when circumstances are challenging. It's about finding ways to create richness even in lean times, perhaps through creativity, connection, or contribution to others. This resilience comes from knowing that true abundance isn't dependent on external conditions, but on your internal state of being. The lifestyle of abundance also includes regular practices that reinforce this way of being. This might mean starting your day with gratitude, taking time to appreciate beauty, or creating moments of celebration in ordinary days. It's about cultivating habits that naturally generate feelings of wealth and sufficiency, regardless of your financial situation. As you embrace abundance as your natural state of being, you'll notice that your entire experience of life transforms. Opportunities seem to appear more frequently, relationships deepen, and even simple moments take on a quality of richness that might have previously gone unnoticed. This is the true power of living abundantly. It creates a self-perpetuating cycle of wealth in all its forms, enriching not only your life, but the lives of everyone you touch. The abundant lifestyle becomes your signature, your natural way of moving through the world. It's reflected in everything from how you sign your name, to how you serve a meal, to how you listen to a friend in need. When you truly understand that abundance is a lifestyle rather than a number in your bank account, you become a living example of what it means to be truly wealthy.